Hey guys, Peshev from Devrix here. My topic today is going to be 4 ways to get yourself prepared for entrepreneurship. If you haven't started your venture yet, or you're about to start your next one, you're planning to start one whatsoever, um, there are a lot of questions, especially from college students or people who used to work in corporate environment for about a decade or so, that are now passionate and eager to join the entrepreneurship wave or community or whatever it is. And of course, there are a lot of questions of what's the best way to start, and or most likely, like, what's the best university to learn entrepreneurship or whatever it is. And to be honest, there isn't. I mean, there are some that excel better than others, but most of them are like private and are mostly attuned to people who work in a corporate environment for a decade and now are pre-qualifying for some sort of startup environment. Most MBA programs suck. Again, there are some exceptions, and most of those exceptions in the Ivy League universities that simply give you the networking environment because of the kind of elite league that's kind of joining them, and people with networks and celebrities and whatnot. So I'm not even going to include that in one of those four kind of ways to prepare yourself for starting a business. So in a nutshell, starting a business requires expertise, it requires time, it requires money. And that's really important to get as the foundation of starting a business. And here are the 4 ways to give yourself some leverage when starting a venture. The first one is earn capital. Could be your savings, could be even a lottery ticket if you want, could be a will, whatever it is. For most people, of course, they have to earn their hard work in cash, but earning the capital for starting a business is crucial. So most startup ecosystems are designed in a way, especially in the States, some places, if in Western Europe and probably some other regions, but I think that it's different in Asia and Eastern Europe and Africa and so on. But most of those systems are designed in a way that bootstrapping a business means that you have to fund it yourself, and moreover, you can't get funding, or if you get funding, this funding doesn't really cover your salary, which kind of means that you can spend a year or two, maybe sometimes 3 years or even more, without getting a paycheck from your own business. And of course, the best case scenario is working full-time in your business, right? So earning capital upfront as much as possible is the best possible way to start your business. It's you still have the learning curve, you still have a lot to learn over the years, but it's still the best possible way, especially if you can get at least a year worth of your rent and food expense and whatnot in savings. That's going to be great. If you can make it up to 2 years, it's really going to give you a very high chance for kind of success, simply because you're able to survive for a longer period of time and experiment with more things as it goes. And it will also give you a way to test different concepts like advertisement, marketing, hiring different people to speed up your growth without kind of sticking around with limited budget, being unable to test different concepts. And not to mention that it will, the most popular way is to earn capital through a job, which is probably going to teach you something and get you better at something that is going to be of value during your entrepreneurial journey. Number 2 is joining a startup. And in a nutshell, working in a startup is a good way to understand how a startup works, what are kind of the prerequisites and so on. It's not always ideal. After all, over 80% of the startups fail. Most of passionate people just start startups without knowing what to do and how they do it and so forth. So it's not the best and most reliable way to study that. But like, if you join kind of so here's the thing, like, if you join a very new startup, it may become wildly successful and you may actually become some sort of a co-founder or something, and forget about entrepreneurship as a whole. If you join early, it may get wildly successful, as I said, or it may fail and you likely learn nothing because it's not a successful startup, right? If you join too late, you won't learn the foundations of starting and building a business. So just keep that in mind, but still in a startup environment, you can learn a lot about, selling and product marketing. You work closely with more experienced people, probably or not, but at least it's a good way to kind of see how entrepreneurship works. Number 3 is the so-called Sandbox trial. And that's kind of one of my favorite options. So there are 2 ways to look at it. The first one is kind of running a smaller business or so as a side attachment to your job. A weekend activity, an evening activity, or so forth, which may not be your core business. Like it may be, or it may not be your core business, but regardless, let's review the 2 areas separately. Like if it's your core business, it's going to be pretty small, and I mean, by small, I mean it's going to take a while to develop and to grow and whatnot. So that's not usually the best way to do it, but it's still a way to kind of get into your business in the evenings and over the weekends. But what you can do is this sort of a sandbox, which is, say, for example, okay, I want to create a small lifestyle business just for the sake of seeing how entrepreneurship works, right? For example, I wanna write and sell a book. I want to start flipping websites. I want to, I don't know, create a blog and sell affiliate marketing, whatever it is. So if you wanna earn capital, which is what we've said at first, you can also make it a zero marketing venture, doing it in the evenings in order to study startups and entrepreneurship, because this is going to teach you how to start a venture, how to market, how to sell, different how to do competitor research, how to identify the right niche, how to define the target audience, and so forth and so forth. So this is one of the good ways to kind of do this sandbox, this pet project, which does not require a ton of your time and money, but it's still a good way to kind of teach entrepreneurship in practice, like something that you can even build as a lifestyle business that is going to pay your salary, so that you can then start your kind of real business, or even grow this one to be something more enormous and successful. So that's definitely great. And number 4 is actually just jumping in. So I mean, if you want to give it a shot, you can just give it a shot. So the thing is, it's probably going to be safer. It's probably going to be more successful if you spend the time, learn more, get more capital, get more experience, and so on. But it's still not a guarantee, and you still have to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe more, just kind of catching up on cash and capital and experience and whatnot. So one of the options is just say, okay, I'm just going to give it a shot now. If it works, then great. If not, either way, with the other options, it will still take me 3 to 5 years to start my venture. So if this gets successful, great. If not, in 3 years, I'm just going to start the second venture, right? So again, if you're really that passionate, if you believe in your business venture, well, just go ahead, hustle, and make it work. So those are the 4 different ways, just to repeat. First one is earn capital if possible. Second one is join a startup so that you can learn from it. Number 3 is build a pet project, a lifestyle business, something like a side thing, which is safer. And number 4 is just join and start.